Okay. Alexi, I see you hit the record button, so thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to get started. So good evening and welcome to the Bike MS Safety Clinic. It's fantastic to see so many of you joining us this evening, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to attend. We are less than 2 weeks away from our event weekend experience, and we are excited to share some of the important safety information with you today and to help you prepare for the best possible weekend experience we can offer. And safety is our #1 priority at Bike MS, and our motto is even think safe. Bike MS is for everyone, which means there's a great mix of riders with different experience and skill levels on the road together at Bike MS for every event. So we must all be mindful and visible and make sure that we are predictable. So now let's get started with our show. Just going to go over a few housekeeping tips on the Microsoft Teams platform. I know this might be new to some people. So this does have the camera and the microphone function. We just ask that people stay on mute during the presentation so everybody can hear. We do have a chat bubble, which Lexi will be monitoring. It's like the little cartoon shaped bubble, and that you can ask any questions in. And we do have a raise hand function. So you can utilize that as well for questions. We will have time at the end for questions. So first off, I'm going to get us started with our agenda. And so we're going to cover a lot of different safety things as far as ride safety, our COVID-19 protocols, what we have available on the weekend for support, what to do with our medical emergencies, and also getting prepared for ride day. But to kick us off, we are going to start with a little video. So, okay. Oh, do not start. Okay. Sorry, I said this might have some technical difficulties.
Rules and best practices exist all around us, and they're usually put in place to keep you safe and an event running smoothly. Everything from obeying traffic signs and signals, not wearing white at a wedding, and an all too important one, don't eat yellow snow. And it's no different at Bike MS. We want you to have the ride of a lifetime, but everyone is responsible for making Bike MS safe. Some safety rules are well known. Wear a helmet. Stay to the right. Obey all traffic laws. But some might surprise you. Like earbuds or headphones aren't permitted at Bike MS because they can impede your ability to hear traffic and safety warnings. And while it might be tempting to ride right beside all your new friends at Bike MS, don't ride more than 2 abreast and do not impede traffic. Group riding takes practice. Your responsibility as part of a pack includes being aware of others around you and riding with your head up. Being aware of how weather will affect your bike and knowing your limits. Maintaining control and the speed of your bike. Never overlapping your wheels with another cyclist or using aero bars. Being loud and proud with your communication and using verbal commands and hand gestures. On your left, only pass on the left and call out before you pass. Slowing. Let everyone know the cyclist in front of you is slowing down. Use caution and prepare to stop. Stopping. This indicates a rider ahead is stopping. Don't forget to unclip from your pedals. Car back. This means a driver is approaching from the rear. Make an effort to move to the right of the road in a single file until the car passes. Gravel, pothole, sand, tracks. Alert the rider behind you of hazardous road conditions. Bike MS is an experience, one that takes you further than you've ever gone before, and it's one you'll want to savor. By following the rules of the road and practicing cycling etiquette, you'll be able to soak in what really matters on the ride. The people, the scenery, and of course, the mission to end MS forever.
So just flipping back to the presentation. Okay. So I just want to introduce some of the main staff that we have on the call. My name is Rachel Oster. I'm the director for Bike MS. And then I'm going to have both Lexi. So Lexi Brown is our manager for Bike MS New York City. We also have Rhea Stefan. She is not on this evening. She did have a conflict. And then I have a special guest this evening, Ande White, who is a lead production technician from Trek New York. And Trek New York is our mechanical support sponsor for Bike MS New York City this year. So we are very excited to have him. Okay, so we're going to start off with some safe and courteous cycling tips. So it is important for each and every cyclist to set a good example from the time you arrive at the start location to the time you cross the finish line by following the rules of the road and respecting the communities we ride through, and by using being respectful and courteous to your fellow cyclists and supporting volunteers. Bike MS provides the necessary tools to educate all Bike MS New York City cyclists on proper riding etiquette, but it's up to you to be a responsible cyclist. Do your part to ensure everyone arrives safely at the finish line. Please review the safety information about personal safety, group riding skills, cycling etiquette, and bike maintenance. Be safe, be courteous, and be responsible. Now we're going to go through some of the verbal signals what you can use while you're en route to keep other riders safe. As we have mentioned on the video, Bike MS does not allow you to have headphones while you're on the route, since they prevent you from hearing cyclists and potentially other instructions from the support staff or the NYPD. So just speak up and make sure that everyone else can hear you. Make people know that you're on your left, that you're slowing down or potentially stopping. So those are all important things. And then additionally, we're also having to talk about hand signals. Bike MS New York City has a lot of great sights to see along the way, and you'll want to stop and take photos, but you need to be cognizant of stopping. So please use the stopping signal or slowing signal when you are going to start slowing down so that other riders around you know. Please maintain that minimum speed limit, which is 10 to 12 miles per hour throughout the course. Helmets are required at all Bike MS events. If you rented a bike from Unlimited Biking, the helmet will be provided as part of your rental, and on the screen is just some tips on how to get your helmet on snugly and securely so that you will be safe throughout the ride. And then now I'm actually going to have Andy come up and speak about some of the overall pre-ride checklist that you're going to need to get ready on the road, and he's going to walk you through some of that.
Thanks, Rachel. Good evening, riders. I just wanted to take some time to go over the ABCs of a pre-ride check for your bike to make sure you're in good condition, the equipment's running well, and ready to roll. So pre-ride, we want to check the air in our tires and make sure we're setting that tire pressure according to the manufacturer's recommendations. Tires generally have the pressure range printed or embossed on them. Sometimes they can be tricky to read because it's just embossed in the black rubber, but there should be generally a range of PSI to pump your tires to. This will prevent flats, and it's a good opportunity to see the condition that your tires are currently in. Is there any cracking or cuts on the sidewalls? Has the top of the tire gone from a round shape to kind of flat on top and maybe squared off? These are indications of the tires needing to be replaced. Once we see some of these signs of wear, it's very indicative of flats in the future, and it's a great time to do some preventative maintenance there. Once we're good with our tire pressure and condition of our tires, next we want to check our brakes for functionality. It's a good time to just squeeze the levers, make sure the brake pads are contacting the rim or a rotor if you've got a disc brake. It's a good time to give the wheel a spin too, to make sure that the wheel is not contacting the brake pads. So we're listening and we're looking for any signs of rubbing. This is going to, any rubbing is going to cause excess wear on your brake pads or the rims themselves, and potentially become a safety issue. From there, it's a good opportunity to give our cranks a spin to see what the chain and the cassette look like. Clean bike is a happy bike. So maybe now is a good opportunity to get a rag and some degreaser, wipe down the chain. If it's very black, we want to remove as much road grime and lubrication buildup as possible, and then reapply any chain. If it's any chain lube, if it's rusty, it might be an indication that it's time to replace the chain. That's a great time to work with your local bike shop. We've got specialty tools to help us understand what the wear on the chain is currently and what the life expectancy of the chain is. Next, very important, the quick releases on the wheels, or modern bikes are moving towards a through axle type system, making sure our through axles are tightened down, and making sure our quick releases are closed. Quick releases will be labeled with an open and closed identifier on them, and we want to make sure that the quick release is in a closed position, and we want to make sure that it's tightened down so that it leaves like an imprint in our palm, a little impression of the quick release skewer itself when we're closing it. So that way we know there's enough force there to hold the wheel in place and keep all of the bearing systems loaded and ready to roll. Then the next step is to take it for a quick little spin. Make sure we're shifting through all the gears. We want nice, timely shifts between each gear change. We want to make sure that we're slowing down and braking in a safe and timely manner. And if any of these things are failing, that's now 2 weeks ahead of an event is the right time to get into your local bike shop to get those issues addressed. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Rachel.
Okay, thank you, Andy. Those are some great tips. I actually was thinking as I was going, I was like, oh, I really probably should get that chain checked out on my bike because it definitely has seen better days. So I definitely will probably be coming in for some help on that one. So we're gonna move on and we're gonna go through our COVID safety protocols, and I'm gonna introduce Lexi and have her come up and go through some of those items.
Thanks, Rachel. Masks are required at all Bike MS events at the start-finish line areas, rest stops, on SAG vehicles, and in the start chute. Riders may remove their masks while eating, drinking, and while riding. Individually wrapped food and beverages at rest stops with an abundance of Lysol, Clorox, and hand sanitizers will be available throughout the event. All participants, volunteers, staff, and attendees must pass a COVID-19 exposure and symptom screening and must acknowledge reading our safety protocols and pledge to adhere to those protocols. You will receive an email and a text message if you opted in on Saturday, October 16th with the instructions to complete the survey. Visit Bike Safety and COVID-19 page on our website for additional Bike MS safety protocols and details. But here is what is included in the pre-event health screening. As an attendee, I certify that I have read, understand, and agree to adhere to the following, as do any spectators attending on my behalf. I understand that wearing a mask is required for anyone attending a National MS Society gathering, regardless of vaccination status. I agree to wear a mask at all times during this event, except when eating or drinking, or if I'm a participant engaged in physical activity, such as riding a bicycle during a Bike MS event. I have not experienced any symptoms of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours and have not been exposed to anyone who has tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 14 days. I understand the contagious nature of COVID-19 and its variants, and I assume all risk associated with attending this event, including being exposed to COVID-19, and I waive the National Multiple Sclerosis Society from all liability therewith. Our start chute has been extended to allow for social distancing while you're getting ready to ride, and masks are required while you're in the chute, but can be removed when you start riding. The elite breakfast and lunch will be served by Bear Burger. All options from them will be pre-boxed to limit food handling. The rest stop and breakfast trucks will be stocked with single-serve packaging snacks, beverages, and grab-and-go items. Similar to every year, we rely on the personal responsibility of each cyclist to ensure the safety of all. Be courteous and respectful of personal space and practice social distancing. Utilize your bike to help maintain a safe distance from others. Remain with the group you came with or are riding with. Come prepared and be ready to get on the road. Bike MS New York City start is dictated by the NYPD, so it is sometimes a small window to get on the course. And now I'm going to pass it back to Rachel to talk about Ride Day support.
Thank you, Lexi. We are going to also, in addition to keeping you safe, we are going to be also talking about our top-notch ride experience. So now we're going to go into some Ride Day support items. This year, we do have a slightly different start than into 2021 than we historically have. We are doing a southern start, which goes Historically, we do a southern start, which goes south from the start line location. But this year, we're going to do a northern start because we are farther south, so we will not be able to impact the traffic patterns for the Lincoln Tunnel. The most important thing to know about all of this is the entrance to the start line is at 50th Street. So you will be entering there. There will be extra police support there to help you cross traffic. The northbound traffic will still be going, so it is very important that you use that 50th Street chute entrance, and then we will line people up down to the Pier 84 arch, which is at 43rd Street. So most importantly about the chute, that you will need to wear your mask, as Lexi had previously mentioned, but there will be breakfast trucks and portos available throughout the chute area if anyone needs them. If you are planning on driving in and parking, please use garages south of 43rd Street, since the whole area will have street closures on the one side, so you won't have a lot of access to certain streets. We do have a list of parking garages that are outside of the closure area available on the website to make it a little bit easier for you to find parking. The chute will open at 6 a.m. With an approximate start time of 7 a.m., but this will be dictated by the NYPD and can shift based on street closures. If you did opt to use unlimited biking, or you still would like to rent a bike, they are available for Ride Day, and they can be picked up at Pier 84, and all the bikes come with a helmet and a bike bag. So in addition, breakfast on the Saturday start line will be limited. We'll have water, sports drinks, breakfast bars, and bananas will be available in the start line chute vehicles on the West Side Highway. So we do advise you to come with a full stomach and full water bottles to get ready on the road. Our Elite 200 and Elite teams will enjoy a hot breakfast and coffee served by Bear Burger at Pier 84 starting at 6 a.m. Just show your credentials that you've got in the mail and you can access the pier. All breakfasts will be pre-boxed, and then we will have our rest stop stocked with snacks. In the past, we've had our Honey Stinger waffles, gels, pickle juice, fruits, including granola and power bars, some sports drinks, chips, and there will be gluten-free options available. You just have to ask because we do have a limited supply, so we do keep those off to the side just to make sure that those who would like gluten-free or need it do have it available. Lunch will be provided by Bear Burger, and the menu will include beef burgers served with and without cheese, chicken burgers, and veggie burgers that are black bean based. We will have a variety of toppings. All the toppings will be pre-packaged or individually packaged to limit that touching protocol. All lunches will be pre-boxed, and lunch will be available to all participants. For those who have made the Elite 200 Club top fundraiser or a part of a super elite team, you will have access to a special VIP lunch line. In addition to the lunch area, we will have a separate grab-and-go snack table where you can get a bottle of water or a single-serve package, just if you're looking for something small and quick. We will have those gluten-free options available there as well. If you are over 21, you can enjoy a craft beer in our beer garden. We will have beer tickets available for purchase on Ride Day at site. And for the E200 and Top Fundraiser members, we will have a special VIP beer line for you. And of course, as always, you will be able to enjoy a beer on us as being part of those clubs, and it's a great perk. Now moving on to our outstanding support that we have. So on the last call and some of the previous ones, I have mentioned that we are only offering our 30-mile traffic-free route for 2021. We did have also a change in our start finish line. So historically we were at Pier 92, 94, but this year we're going to be at Pier 84. It is a 100% outdoor location, and it is about 10 blocks south of our previous location. So it'll be at 43rd and the West Side Highway. We are not hosting the 50 and 62-mile routes this year. However, they will be returning in 2022. So this was not a permanent change. So you can definitely look out for these for next year. The 30-mile route will have one rest stop at Inwood Hill Park, which is in Harlem, and it will be 19 miles into the route. All cyclists will be required to stop at Inwood Park as we flip the highway closures. So this is where we will basically bring all of our cyclists in. It is a very large park, so there will be plenty of space for everybody, but this is when we will reopen the FDR and close the remainder of the West Side Highway. The approximate wait time in this area could be about 45 minutes up to an hour and will be dictated by the NYPD. But don't worry, there's going to be plenty of snacks, porta potties, and of course, mechanical support from Trek New York. In addition, this rest stop will be sponsored by Point B this year, so they will also have a tent, so make sure you check them out. And you know what? The great thing about this ride, you never have to worry about getting lost. Once you get in that start line chute, there will be support vehicles on the front, support vehicles on the back to keep you safe the entire way along the route. All you got to do is follow the cyclist in front of you and enjoy the amazing views of the Freedom Tower, Brooklyn Bridge, and going through that Battery Park Tunnel. We will have, they currently are on the website. We do have our route maps, cue sheets, and iRide with GPS links if you do want to have a look at elevation or be able to follow those as you go. We will have paper cue sheets available at the customer service tent at 50th Street.
I actually don't want any of the pasta, so you can finish it.
You what?
I don't want any of it.
Okay. So, and then, you know what? We know that this is a 30-mile route. And so if you feel like you are not able to continue, we do have SAG support vehicles to help. They are a van and truck duo. So basically they will follow on the back of the bubble of the event. So if you have an issue and you feel as though you do need to stop, that you're just a little bit too tired, and maybe you had a mechanical issue with your bike, flip your bike upside down. And look for the first SAG wagon and give them the thumbs down signal. That will indicate that you want to be picked up, and then your bike will be put on one truck, and then you will board a bus and be transported to the finish line. As I mentioned, Pier 84 is our new start finish line location for Bike MS New York City. So we do have some great things about this site. There is going to be secure bike parking. We have rented the upper deck of the Circle Line parking garage. So when you get to the start line arch, you will continue straight up into that parking garage where you'll be directed to either VIP parking or general parking. And then during the start and finish line festival, as I mentioned prior, you will need your mask except when you are eating or drinking. We will have Bear Burger serving the lunch throughout the day, and it will be served in the pre-packaged boxes. Even though this is an all outdoor location, we will have tenting in certain sections of the pier for weather protection, but the side of the tents will be open to allow for ventilation. Sometimes emergencies happen, and we don't want to admit that they do, but sometimes, we know we need a little bit of extra help, and we want to make sure that you get it as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to take a moment to review what you would do in a medical emergency. You will have an emergency wristband on at the times, but we do recommend with New York City, I know some of you have ridden other Bike MS rides in the past. This is a ride where you will call 911 as your first step. You will provide them your location and you will remain on the phone with them until you have help has arrived. 911 will get there far faster than our Met Control, so please call 911 first, but I do have the emergency medical wristband number also for lesser emergencies, but if you are in a critical need and desperately need help, call 911. Now I am going to turn it over to Lexi to get you ready for everything you need to pack and bring with you for ride day.
Thanks, Rachel. Safety starts before we even get on the road. You have taken the first step by joining this call today, but there are also a few other proactive items you'll want to take prior to ride weekend as well. Make sure to bring the following items with you to event weekend. The following items are mandatory: your bike, your helmet, rider bib, bike plate, wristband, face mask, ID, and water bottle. But we do have a few other items that we recommend bringing as well, so you can see them here on our packing list. New York City has its own unique set of bag restrictions as part of the city's counterterrorism measures, and the NYPD will be enforcing them a ride morning. For a full list of bags and restrictions, please visit our website under registration and ride information and requirements. All bags on the screen are prohibited from the Bike MS New York City. And here is a list of the approved bags we do allow on the route. If you are an E200 Elite Team or Super Team member, you will have access to VIP bag check starting at 6 a.m. at Pier 84. All cyclists must meet their $200 fundraising minimum before receiving your rider package. Encourage your donors to donate online. Bring your donations to Packet Pickup. We offer various packet pickup opportunities. The packet mailing was completed on Tuesday, October 5th for those who qualified by September 27th, and all have been sent via the United States Postal Service. Ride weekend packet pickup will take place at Pier 84 on Friday, October 15th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday, October 16th from noon to 4 p.m. Online registration will close at 4 p.m. on Saturday, October 16th, and packets will not be available for pickup ride morning. In your packet will be 4 items that are mandatory for Bike MS Ride Weekend. The first being your bib number. This bib number will assist with identification on the route, so please safety pin your bib number on the back of your outermost layer of clothing while on the route and at the start and finish lines. Safety pins will be included in your packet, so please make sure to fill out the emergency contact information on the inside of your bib. The second item is your bike plate. Your bike plate must be fastened to the front of your handlebars with the plate facing out, and twist ties will be included in your packet as well. The third item are your mission ribbons. Proudly wear your orange mission ribbon on ride day. These are provided by our mission sponsor, Evernorth. And the fourth item is your event wristband. So you're required to wear your event wristband the entire weekend, and this wristband identifies you as a Bike MS participant and grants you access to food, beverage, and Bike MS services. We just wanted to say thank you to our amazing sponsors, Bear Burger, AM Trust Financial, Oz Moving, and Point B. And thank you to our national sponsors as well, Left Hand and Primal, and Janssen Neuroscience. So I know we've shared a lot of information with you, but what we're really interested in is hearing from you. So we're going to invite everyone to join us on screen, and we're going to open it up for some questions.
And it doesn't have to be just questions for us. You can also ask Andy questions too if you have bike related questions.
Hi, I have a question.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi, hi everybody. So I am a complete and total newbie on this. I have this is the very first meeting I've attended. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm so sorry everybody. Such a stupid question, but so the start and finish line is Pier 84, right? So people at the end, people will come and wave us on there, like family members, right?
Yep, that's correct.
But you're saying the shoot starts at 50th, which is that's what I'm really confused about. So
basically what's going to happen is we're going to have an arch that everybody's going to go through at Pier 84. But we can't obviously have every single person fit all 2,000 people in that one little section. So the chute is going to be multiple blocks long. So from 43rd to 50th Street, that's the entire chute distance. That's based on the barricades up the middle of the highway. You can't cross at every single street. So we are going to have additional police support at 50th, which is the top of the chute. And that's where you can safely enter and head down into the chute area. So it's basically like, you're just going to make a little bit of a U-turn and kind of come down.
Okay.
So, and then we will have a customer service tent there. And that is also where Trek will be for bike repairs. If you do have an emergency on the ride over in the morning, maybe one of your tires or something just feels a little bit funky and you want to have somebody check it out prior, they will be there next to me at customer service to just make sure that you guys are 100% ready to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't worry. I'll be very honest with you. The chute question has been incredibly popular this year.
Oh,
good. Normally, this is a very popular question. Normally, you would show up at the pier and you could go right in the chute. So this has been something that it has been new this year. So don't feel it as it was a weird question. We've gotten it a lot.
Okay. How about another weird question? And then I'm done, I promise. So I got my packet and I got a jersey in it, which is really cool, by the way. So it's my very first biking jersey. But my sons, who are also on my team, I don't think they've gotten packets. Does everybody get a packet like in the mail? Is that how it works?
So the packets were mailed if you had reached your $200 fundraising minimum. And then in the case of so they had to have reached their $200 fundraising minimum by the 27th. The other things that would have prevented anything from being mailed is if they were under 18, they did need a minor waiver on file, or if they registered as a virtual participant, we did not send virtual participants their packets. So I can definitely look up do they have the same last name?
Owens, yes. Yeah. I'm sorry, everybody.
No worries. Because some did get mailed separately.
I had a similar thing happen where I got a packet with a jersey, my daughter got a packet with no jersey, and my husband didn't get a packet at all. But it might be coming tomorrow.
Okay, so let me bring up the website and we can kind of go through. So there is actually a list up on the website. So some of the jerseys are, so you would have gotten a top fundraiser jersey if you had raised $1,000 at the time of the mailing. The I Ride with MS jerseys are for those who opted in on the program. So if you opted in when you registered, we did send out the jerseys. So just clarification on the 2 jerseys we did send. So I'm just going to bring up the website really quick, and then I'm going to click through a few screens, and then I'll show you guys where the list is. But I can also double check some of the names because they are in alphabetical order. It's a pretty easy little process. So under the registration details section on our website, so everybody can see the website?
Yes.
Okay. So under the packet pickup section, under the mailing, we have a little hyperlink here for the final list of all participants that they were mailed. This also does have your rider names included. So first, I know Sue is up first, so I'm going to just click down to the O's and get you squared away. So I believe only yours was mailed. So we'll have to double check on your son's because I don't have your son's on the list under anyone else from Owens, because the other person from Owens I know is Brian, is the crayfish bar captain. So I don't know. I think you guys are 2 separate teams. And then Leia, I did get yours out though. So I definitely have yours, and then I know you guys have the different last name.
Yeah, it's just Warrencline.
And apparently I was not able to work a PDF when I set this up. Yeah, both of theirs were mailed. Their numbers 264 and 265. They might just be delayed slightly. And then which jersey does Alina need?
So Eliana, well, because we didn't have our funds in yet, I think, when they were mailed, but now there's loads of them.
Okay.
Right. So I'm not sure. She always had a top fundraiser jersey because she always was in that category, but I don't know. Is there regular jerseys, or it's just the top fundraiser?
So it's just the top fundraiser. So if you had $1,000 at the time of the mailing, we definitely mailed them.
Yeah. So what do we do with that? Should she just wear a jersey from a past year? Like what?
She can wear a jersey from the past year, but you guys will have the access to the elite breakfast, which is going to be right near where the jerseys are. So if she did want to get it ride morning, that credential with the yellow lanyard that you have, there's a little thing on the back that has the jersey mark off. You can just bring that over. We'll get you verified, and she can pick up a jersey right there, and then she can be all fancy for the ride.
Perfect. Thank you.
No, not a problem. Does anybody else have any questions? Was there also anything in the chat? Because I was not 100% looking at the chat.
I can ask a question I put in the chat also, which
Perfect.
I don't want to appear, lazy in front of this whole group, but do we really have to be there at 7 a.m.?
Yes.
What a great question.
Okay.
Because we do, so basically, since we are dealing with so many road closures,
Yeah.
the chute will open at 6 a.m. And that chute is pretty much just going to be that section of the highway to start. And then what'll happen is once we get everybody lined up and then NYPD goes, okay, all traffic is clear, there are no hazards ahead of us, the NYPD will open the course. They're going to be we're going to have 2 sides of NYPD support. So you might not see the front side because they're going to be about 5 blocks ahead of the riders, just making sure that there's no hazards there. But once they give us that green light, we pretty much got the amount of time to get everybody out of the chute, which I can tell you is only about a half hour, 45 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I definitely have been the person neurotically screaming at 50th Street, get on the course, you're going to miss the window. So like anybody who's done the ride before, so it is a very tight window, and it is one where there's no other access points.
Got it. Okay.
If it makes you feel any better, the staff has to be on site at 3 a.m.
Oh my God. Okay. That does make me feel better. Okay.
So
thank you.
we're very caffeinated by the time you guys get there.
That's great. Thank you.
Hi, I have a question.
How can I help you?
Hi, it's my first time too. Hi, everyone. Can my family join me at the finish?
Yes, they can. They can. They just are subject to the same mask policies as everybody else. So They would just need to have a mask. And then, so to kind of give you an idea of when the ride, so we do have a full schedule online. The riders will start to come into the start finish line, the area at about 10:15, and the last rider we usually have in no later than 11 o'clock. So that is about the time when you will get everybody through, just to kind of give them an idea of when they're going to be coming in, because once people release from that Inwood Park area, it's about 45 minutes for the riders to get to the finish line.
Thank you.
No, not a problem. Any other questions? You can also ask Andy questions. I mean, he's going to know a lot more about bikes than I am. So like, here's your big chance.
Sorry, did you say 10:15 to, is the first group of rider 10:15?
Yeah, we'll start to, our fastest riders will be about 10:15 through there. And then usually we get all of our riders in no later than 11. So it's a pretty tight section that kind of comes through.
Do you guys track the time? You don't, right?
We actually do track the time. So the NYPD is alerting us. So we are being told at certain points in our command center. So Lexi and I will be on site, but we do actually have a separate team that will be working in a command center. I think they will be in a trailer somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. We are still trying to figure out where they're going to be located, but they are getting radio calls throughout the course of saying, riders have passed this street. So we have certain checkpoints, so we know where the riders are, and we are told when the first rider gets to Inwood, and we are told when the hold is released. So we are being told that, and usually you will start hearing staff, if you're on site, of us saying riders released from Inwood, and we know that's a 45-minute window because it's about an 11-mile ride, and it is flat, so people do tend to pace it really fast.
And as far as like weather goes, in the past few years, has it been really cold?
It's a gamble. I did put in the special permit for the 72 degree and sunny. I can't make any guarantees we're going to get it. But right now the weather is predicting to be 67 on the high, 57 on the low. We are looking to be overcast, but we are looking at a low wind, which is nice because being on the pier. I also am not seeing rain on the forecast, but we do also, just so if anybody was concerned about weather, we do start our weather checks on Monday, and I will have a weather check meeting every single day up until the ride. So if there is anything that looks dangerous or hazardous, we are looking at that. We have had rides that have gotten canceled this year due to severe weather. They are in areas of the country that do tend to have bigger problems like hurricanes and things than us. But we do keep a very, very close eye on it. But right now, my 72 and sunny permit is in, fingers crossed. So we are really, but we do, just so you know, if you were cold, we do have the silver Mylar blankets. And then we also have hand warmers on site. We unfortunately don't have the propane heaters because of propane heaters are not allowed under tents unless we would enclose the entire tent. So that would sort of defeat the purpose of the COVID safety protocols, but we will have the hand warmers and the, as I have affectionately called them in event production, the mashed potato blankets. So, we do have all of those on site, and those actually are very shockingly warming, even though they look like kind of useless. So.
The west side is cold and the east side is warm. That's how it's been for the last bunch of years.
Yeah, I know. I know. And it's like, we've actually, in 19, we had really great weather for the 30-mile riders. But if you were on that 50 or the 100, there was very, very heavy rains for the last 25 miles of the 100. But it's a gamble. October is a tough month, but we are hoping, and right now the long range forecast is looking like it's going to be in our favor. Packet pickup will also be outside at the pier. So for me, I'm hoping that all 3 days are lovely. So, but we do have tents and all that stuff too. So.
Thank you.
Rachel, sorry.
Yes, Sue?
Oh, can I also ask you, where will, if you need anything checked on your bike that morning, where does that, I know
that will be at the very top of the chute at 50th. We also will have air pump stations. So every single one of those breakfast trucks will have an air pump station. So if it's just, you feel like your tires are a little bit low, those will be available. So we will have Trek up at 50th Street for full mechanical support help. Yes, Howard, I do agree that is an excellent suggestion. Howard is suggesting layer up suggestions. So bring a jacket and then you can also fold it up into your bike shirt.
It's only my
those-
13th year, so I've kind of figured it out. Yeah, definitely. I actually was at REI today buying waterproof pants, which I might return if it's not a wet day.
Your jacket's bright orange too, if I recall correctly.
I have a couple different ones, but I like the light blue one I got for being a rider, top fundraiser last year, so that's a good one.
So the elite jacket's nice. I'm part of the elite club too, and I definitely have that one. That is a very distinct one. So.
The bright orange one's from the New York Marathon. Shh, don't say.
It's okay. It's a running event. We'll let you go on that one. Any other questions or comments or helpful hints for other riders, from our veteran riders to our rookies?
For the, sorry.
Go ahead.
For the fundraiser, is it like we can still collect money after the race, right?
Correct. Actually, so our prize qualification deadline is November 16th, and then we will have the website still open. Basically, the website does stay open until next year's website opens, but if you want to qualify for additional prizes, so we have some really awesome North Face jackets, speakers, socks, all different types of wearables. You can qualify up to the 16th on those. And then also for our Elite 200 Club, which are our top 200 riders, next year that they will get all these special perks. So you heard how we're talking about the blue jacket. We definitely have a lot of great perks. You will see people with personalized bibs and bike plates. Those are our elite riders. So that's December 16th. Sorry.
I would also say for first-time riders, definitely plan to get there much earlier than you think you want to plan to get there. Everything always takes longer.
Oh, sorry about that. No, that is a good tip, because New York traffic is New York traffic at all hours.
Rachel.
I thought you might have had a comment about some helpful tips too. I think I saw you starting to talk earlier.
I have a rookie question.
Yeah.
I don't know how to change my tire if it gets flat. Like, well, I'll get help, right? If I have a flat tire.
You will get help. We definitely will have help on the course. Andy, do you have any tips on somebody that if they encounter something like that, what they can do, just to make sure they're safely off the road and everything?
Yeah, the first thing to do is to kind of calm yourself, take a couple of deep breaths, and make sure you're out of any cyclists coming behind you. So step off to the side of the road. If you can get your bike upside down, that'll be an indication to the SAG and support vehicles on course to stop and help you repair that. Unless you want to attempt to change a flat yourself, it's always a good idea to have some basic repair tools with you, a spare tube that is the proper size for your tire, some tire levers that'll help you remove your tire, some sort of inflation device, whether that's a CO2 cartridge or a mini pump. But when changing a flat, I think the most important thing is to make sure you've got the root cause of the flat removed from the tire itself. So we're going to want to check very carefully and very closely to the tire for maybe any debris that may be stuck in the tire, because if we put a new tube in there, it could just end up puncturing it again 5 minutes down the road.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I also wanted to add a piece about the weather and layering. Howard's suggestion was awesome. It'll be brisk the morning when we start, and it's always a good idea to start just a little bit colder than you think, so there's not an extra layer that you have to shed. Your body will warm up in the first opening miles, and it's easier to carry fewer items on you than be overdressed and have too much.
And also, bike gloves are not a bad idea this time of year, especially for this event, because your hands will be on the front first. So it is a good recommendation to make sure that you do have some protection for your hands as well. I will be opting for the bright orange pom-pom hat, which will not fit under any helmet, but it'll look great at the finish line.
Do people really deck out the helmet for this?
Yeah, actually, we do have quite a few people that really go for it. We just do warn you though, if you do choose to use anything that's a solid piece like a traffic cone, make sure you cut holes in it and stuff so that you can get the air through it. But this is actually a really great time of year to utilize your dollar store because everything is orange for Halloween. So it is a great time to like go and get all your special things, do your helmets. We definitely have had quite a few creative things over the years, so we definitely encourage it. And you probably will see monkey balloons, Rosani riders. They are one of our perennial teams. You will see them as a super team for the event, and they do ride with their monkey balloons. So. We encourage creativity.
I don't know what monkey balloons are.
Oh, it's like literally a smiling monkey face. They all have them on the tied to the back of their bikes. It's kind of like a kid's balloon, but they like them. Okay. Well, does anybody else have any questions? Or and then I know Sue will definitely get you straightened out. I'll definitely see what's going on with your two sons too.
Hi, this is Scott from Pennsylvania. Really quick question.
Yeah, sure.
How many passport riders are you expecting this year?
Currently, we have 9 registered from the event. So I think you're our only one coming up from the Delaware one, but we do have 3 coming up from City to Shore.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we have some from Colorado. We definitely have some from Massachusetts. But yeah, we have a pretty good bunch this year. We usually get about 19. Our passport riders do tend to come to us a little bit late. So we do have a lot of them coming, but you're right now our person coming from Delaware. So.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to meeting all of you.
No, and good luck on the ride this weekend.
Thank you. Yeah, hope fingers crossed that we're not going to get rained on, but it is what it is. I've done that before.
It's one of those things with the outdoor sports.
Yeah.
No, we're happy you're joining us for the event. So give us a shout if you need anything or anything like that. We're happy to help.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Do we have any other questions or anything else? And also, if you guys think of something afterwards, you're always welcome to email us. I'm sure you have gotten at least 900 emails from us at some point, so we're definitely able to help you. Also, our fundraising support team is fantastic. They do get a whole special write-up for me about the New York ride. So, and the website, I have just put a ton of information. So there's maps, all sorts of fun things to go through and check out and take a look at. So we will definitely make sure that everybody has everything they need.
How many riders do we have this year?
Currently, we have 1,750 registered for the event. We are anticipating about 2,000. I think we can all test New Yorkers are a last minute bunch, so we usually get a huge surge in the last week. So we are anticipating about 2,000. We will have about 150 volunteers on site, as well as about 50 staffs.
And how many usually do the 30 mile?
To be honest with you, even though we're not having the 50 and the 62.5, which I know is a concern that some people have had, this is actually the same volume as we would historically have on the 30 miles. So usually our 50 and our 62.5 have approximately 600 riders. So we end up with about 2,000 registered for the 30. And then with that, potential fallout, somebody has something happen that day, they don't reach their fundraising minimum, those types of things. We usually end up with between about 1,800 and 1,900 on that course. So you're going to see a similar volume as what you've seen in 19. Good. I know it's been a concern for some people, but it's not actually, it sounds scary that we canceled a route, but it's not going to be that different than what you've seen before.
I just want to know, I'll be last of how many?
Don't worry. I mean, I would definitely be running on the back of the pack too, because I have a rather old road bike, and then I think my primary bike was my beach bike, which is a Schwinn Bike Cruiser, but it has a basket and a much more comfy seat. So it's kind of like, I could bust that out for the event, but I think that I would get in trouble if I tried to leave the pier.
I was the very last rider in 2019. Yeah.
Don't worry. We're always there cheering them in. So
I may be the last this year. Don't worry.
I'll be there with you.
You'll make friends along the route. It'll be perfect. And look, you've already met here, so you can just wave at each other. And you ride recumbent too, right? So okay, yep.
Yeah, you'll know who I am. Recumbent with a colorful flag.
Oh, great.
yeah, it's always nice. I always love to see like the flags and stuff because that's always a fun part.
Anybody else have any other questions or things they want to talk about? Okay, excellent. So Lexi, I'm going to have you stop the recording and then we'll make sure we get that uploaded for everybody who, if you didn't get to join the call or you